Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank y'all so much for stopping by again, the live stream. Really appreciate it. Shout out to my fourth quarter members. What's up? I love the Chine. Thank you. He's a long time member. All my fourth quarter members. I'm going to do a members only live stream this week. You got my word on that. Appreciate y'all. All my old heads, is Doubtful Genius on here today? Shout out to the NTZ crew. That's Cisco. What's up, Cisco? I know the NTZ crew will be on here. Jacob Tanjay, Michael Beach Alive. There he is. Man, you like clockwork, Jacob Tanjay. I was glad you came on the other day, man. I wanted people to see you. A lot of people have never put a name to a face, man. This guy is as sure as death in Texas. I know Michael Beach Alive will be on here at some point. What's up, Jeffrey Tatter? He's behind the wheel. Okay, you back over? Are you back over in at home? Any new viewers and subscribers joining us today? That's Doubtful Genius. Welcome. Anybody catching this on replay? The peso is 55.79. Only a smidgen of what it was the other day. That's still good. I'm not going to complain about that. I mean, we've gotten spoiled over here. I remember when 50 was the benchmark. Boy, if it got 50, man, we was happy as a lark. But now we've gotten spoiled. That 58 and 59 spoiled us. Now we're unhappy with a 55. We might as well say 56 if you round it up. But y'all know we always have a topic. Today's topic is an empty nest relationship. This is something that I came up with, one of my Calvinisms. Is it smart to do that? And we're going to get with that. I like to talk about, some videos I've made in between live streams. Certainly the one I made today, man. It's hilarious, man. Me and Marilyn, we're laying in bed last night. We're on our way to sleep, and I come across this reel on Facebook, and man, it was shocking to me. It was a young Filipina, it's really a TikTok, and they upload them to Facebook. Her and this man have a whole channel and everything going on. But the reel opens up and she's kissing the man the lips. And he's in the wheelchair, but he's not just disabled, he's disabled. He got this going on. He really don't even know where he is. Probably. And I'm saying this should be a crime. If you were a man and you were dating a woman like that, they get you for SA and great. You never see the light of day. They throw you up under the jail. But it's okay over here. But then when I got real honest with myself, it's like, Sunshine Shoulders, that's you in that wheelchair. The only difference is you can walk and talk and wipe your own behind. But that's me in that wheelchair. But the comments was like, oh, that's true love. Even Marilyn's like, no, that's not no true love. And then my daughter, she's the one that posted the reel about the African woman marrying the little white guy. This guy has no limbs, basically. His arms is cut off at the elbow. His legs are cut off from the knee. They basically got him propped up in the wheelchair with a damn tuxedo shirt on. And she's, mooning him and got the bouquet in her hands. Because my daughter, this is my daughter's post. She's like, this is about to be me. I'm tired of being broke. And it was funny, man. But I'm like, this could only happen in a woman's world, man. It could never happen in a man's world. We would be locked up for that, guys. We're getting locked up for less. Y'all see what they're doing to Zion Williamson now? He's next on the list of all the people, They don't even take you to criminal court anymore. They taking you straight to civil court. Now, if that were me, and some woman said, yeah, he SA'd me and he raped me, I'm going straight to jail. But if you got money, you go straight to the bank. But I just thought it was crazy, man. Uh, when I saw that yesterday, but y'all think I just be on here talking when I say 18 to 80 blind crippled are crazy. I'm telling you what I'm seeing in front of my face, what I'm living, what I'm experiencing. This the nitty gritty, man. And guys don't want to talk about that because they want you to think they're special. They're doing something special over here. No, dude, you the man in the wheelchair. You just standing up right. That's all. But you that man in the damn wheelchair. Now they walking around here, their chest poked out. Oh, look at my wife. Look at my girlfriend. Look what I did. If you look at it from your side, you're taking advantage of the woman. You're taking advantage of the poverty situation and the disadvantage, and But on her side, they're applauding her. Yeah, little Maria, look what she got. Do you blame her? If I was in her shoes, I'd do the same thing. It's a woman's world, man. It's a woman's world. He says if the African countries continue to combine and become self-sufficient economically without Western influence, the dollars will continue to fall against other currencies across the world. Yeah, you got a lot of ifs in there, brother. You know how I feel about that, man. Before the dollar crashes, man, we'll blow this world up. We'll blow the earth up. That's not gonna happen in your lifetime, W Secret to Success. It's shit going on right now in the world. We just ain't paying attention to it. We're paying attention to the Diddy trial. Man, there's seconds, man, from lighting up Iran and getting all that going on. Not to talk about what Ukraine just did over in Russia. They've expanded that war. And of course, we never talk about what's going on in the Gaza Strip. It's a lot going on in this world, man. The United States got its hands in all of it. Okay? Whether we're right out front or we the silent hand. We're in there, guys, okay? And I just, I'm worried about my sons, man. One will be 15 this year. One just turned 13. But yeah, it's not going to happen, man. You know better than that. He said, Cal, I seen a lot when I was there. I know, Roger, but if you've never been over here before, they'll think, oh, these guys are just doing that for clicks and views, man. I don't care. It's more than clicks and views to me now. I've been on it for 5 years now. I know that YouTube has a lot to do with that algorithm and all that. I have really no control over who sees my videos or not. Yeah, I don't care if you watch them or not. Okay? I'm just telling you what's in my face. When I saw that last night, now if that were you, man, you would be under investigation already. Okay? They're gonna deport you if you're lucky. If not, they're gonna shoot you. You're taking advantage. Okay? It's a double standard. Foreign men will go to prison for that kind of stuff over here. But the women around the world, they get a pass. It's a come up. They'll get applauded for that type of behavior. And then you got all these women in the comments co-signing that bullshit, man. That's a crime. That man can't take care of himself. He's not that's not a consensual relationship, man. You don't even know where he is. Go on my Sunshine Show's Facebook page and look at that reel and tell me that man knows where he is. Hey, Sonny D, welcome to the fourth quarter, man. Thank you for your continued support. He joined today. Yeah, man, you guys think I just be on here yapping, man. Y'all better know what y'all doing when you come over here. You know what? You better know what you're getting into when you come over here and what you're stepping into. all the love and attention and all the affection you're receiving. That's the least you should get over here. There's nothing to brag about. That's the least you should be getting over here. But it is hilarious, really. He's disabled. He can't do nothing. You can't date a woman like that. It's a double standard, Hassan. You can't date a woman in that condition. But a woman can date a man in that condition, and there's no problem with it. Society has no problem with it because we're living in a woman's world now. It's not a man's world, man. Men really are under attack now, man. You got to be careful what you doing, man, on this dating scenes over here around the world. Well, ain't nothing funny about that, honestly. I mean, this the African woman, she literally married half a man. And he just all he can do is just sit there and look at her, and she's swooning around, singing, how much she loves him and everything like that. And the women are co-signing the bullshit in the comments. It's true love. Now that's a crime, lady. You should be locked up for that. I would be locked up. But what y'all think about that? The double standard that's dating now. I think that if a woman can just easily say, hey, he SA'd me, he raped me, shouldn't we be able to charge her, well, she used me. She tricked me and took my money. But in today, being a man today, man, it's a tough assignment, man. And nobody's really speaking out about it. It makes you look weak if you say that. We're supposed to be stoic, and self-reliant. That stuff ain't supposed to bother us. Bullshit, man. But I want to talk about the empty nest relationship. What is it? It's maintaining an LDR with a Filipina and also a residence, whether it be a house, a condo, an apartment, and you're paying for everything. You're maintaining it as if you're still here. But you're not. You're here 6 months or less. But you taking care of everything like you're staying here. See, that's an empty nest, but you're not here, guys. Do you know how many men are doing that right now? And we're going to talk about the pros and cons of doing that. Is that a smart move to do something like that? An empty nest relationship. You got an LDR, that's one thing. But a lot of LDRs, you're not maintaining a house over here, or apartment, or condo. See? And you're paying the utilities, you're paying the food bill, man, it gets expensive. You're basically juggling two households, one over here and one over there. A lot of us can't afford to do it, but there's men who are doing it, and they have their reasons to do it. A lot of times they think that if I do that, I'm for sure to keep the woman. And one of the pros though is you found a good place and you don't want to lose it. So every time you come to the Philippines, you got a place to stay. But the bad thing is everything else is bad. I don't see anything else good about it. Because when the cat's away, the mice will play. Why do we feel a need to even take on a responsibility like that? If I'm not in the Philippines, then okay. I'm not gonna, I can't be two places at the same time. And I think that's what we're doing. He said, just call me Mr. ATM. But see, here, I got this right. I got this wrote down. I love the China. You read my mind. It says, when all we do is pay the bills over here, because that's what a lot of men have decided to do. That's not going to be our job. We're just going to pay the bills, and we're going to relinquish all our other responsibilities. Well, it diminishes your role in the family, in the household. Okay. Uh, and then you're just relegated to being an ATM machine or ATM card. I don't think you can do it. I don't think it's smart to do that under no situation. He says, how much monthly income must you have to have SRV visa? Well, there's two. Just a regular. If you don't have a special SRV, which means you're prior military, but I think you have even with that visa, I want to say it's 800 a pension now, a pension. You can't have like a 401. It's not just income, it's a government pension. I know that Darren Cooper of Cooper's Tire Ventures, I know he said they turned him down because he had disability, even because it was from it was the government and from Social Security, they didn't count it. But it's at least 800. I think it's 800 to 1,000. But it has to be a government pension. Don't forget that. It can't be, because they want to make sure that you got that money's coming in regardless. It's sort of like a bond, really. They don't want you to be a ward of the state over here. What's up, Thomas Marshall? Welcome to the chat. We talk about self-preservation a lot on my channel. But honestly, man, when you try to balance self-preservation and then the obligations in the household, man, that's a challenge, man. And a lot of us fall short. We can't do it because we stopped growing. We stopped improving as men. We think, oh, I'm reached retirement age. I'm done. I'm at the finish line. You're not, man. It's just part of being a man. Remember, you got to be, what's it say right here? You got to be the primary decision maker of the house. See, when you talk about multitasking, we always think of the woman and what she does in the house, right? No, men, we're the ultimate multitaskers. We got to be the primary decision maker, the provider, the protector. We got to do it all, man. And a lot of us, we fall short. Hey, Sonny D, thanks for that super chat. He says, called a layaway plan. Put the Filipino on the shelf to marinate. Yeah. Well, guess what? Somebody's going to come in, swoop in, man, and carry that away. That's the risk you're taking. I've seen it. I've seen guys listen to this, man. If you don't hear nothing else, this is a true story. An American man built a young Filipino house, bought the house and lot. But he's got an empty nest relationship. Most of his time is spent in America. She be having other men in the bed. Okay? Yeah. True story. Right here in San Carlos City. You don't have to go to them big cities to see all that. Okay? You're taking a big risk when you do that. Hey, Howard Pratt, thanks for that super chat. What's up, Sunshine? I was trying my best to come to your meet and greet, but there was a problem at the bus station, so I couldn't make it. Scratch my head. Oh, man, it's okay. We're going to have another one. As soon as I get in touch with John, he's my liaison up in McAllen. And then I'm going to have a party here. See, Filipinos don't realize they're invited to my meet and greet. They just don't come. But when I have this party, I'm going to make sure they understand that they're invited, and I'm going to encourage them to come. I'm trying to rent this ballroom. It's going to be a meet and greet / party here. It's nice. They got a DJ booth. I'm going to have a DJ like TJ had in DeVal. And they're going to party. Going to be a BYOB. If you want something to eat, you go downstairs and, buy the food from the restaurant because they got good food. But yeah, there's a lot of empty nest relationships over here where the man is maintaining a household over here. And he's paying for everything as if he's here, but he's not here. He's in his country. Is that a smart thing to do? I say it's not, man. It's very expensive, man. Okay. I would think twice about doing that. I mean, I would. I would just have to take my chances. Okay. You found that place. You were looking for a place when you found that one. I'd have to take my chances again because you're just throwing away money, man. You know, I think I wrote down here, I says, are we going too far in our responsibilities for women over here? I think we are. Certainly when you talk about what you're getting in return, because what you're getting in return is the least of what you should be getting. I don't think we're getting the return on investment. He said they had to get permission to get them on base and to move in with, so I had to visit their working family. I don't understand what you're talking about. He said rock and roll all day, party all night. Well, Maryland said they got a limit. It may be like um, 9 to 1 or something. You know, it'd be plenty of time. You know, for people to break the ice and get to know each other. Maybe meet somebody because there's people who've met at my meet and greet. Okay. He said the next pet is real. Yeah, I don't know what they would call him. Yeah, the next pet can live in the Philippines too. But I just think it's a risky proposition that you're doing. Very expensive, man. But we brag about it. We all do it. We brag about the woman we got. Look at what I got. And she does this and that for me. She never says no. Well, hell, look what you're doing. Okay? Remember what I was saying before? If a woman was giving me the equivalent of what we're giving women here, would anything be off the table that you wouldn't do for her? Because you're accepting the money? Why does that surprise you? When you come over here and she turns flips and runs around in circles and jumps through hoops and helps you look for something that's not missing. Why does that shock you? Because if a woman's giving me that type of money, 6 months of my salary in advance, man, I'm turning flips too. But I just thought I wanted to talk about, hey, Howard Pratt, thanks for that super stick. I'm on my phone again because I believe that's my computer with that old messed up audio. And y'all deserve better than that. So I'm on my phone, but we got all this foolishness. I'll get to it in a minute. But because men, we talk about how simple we are and how little it takes to satisfy us. Maybe we ought to demand more. I put it right here. I said, we want head, not a headache. It says, we want a peace of mind. So mind your own business. And we want chicken, not a chicken head. We don't want a problem, woman. But we really don't know what we're going to get because we jump into it so fast. And we pay a high price for it. But yeah, it's a lot of empty nest relationships going on over here. I'm saying if you're doing it, man, if you're watching me now, you're doing it. Unless if it's your wife, then bring her with you. Go on and do the visa and bring her with you, man. If you can't live over here full time, what are you afraid of? If she's gonna run off over there, she's gonna run off over here. More than likely, she's not gonna run off though. But you know, we pay a high price, man, for doing that, man. You know, but I think it's time for men, certainly in these times, man, to become more selfish. I was talking to Brother K yesterday, and he's like, "Man, I'd rather be single if I don't have the woman I really want." It makes a lot of sense for a lot of us, man. We're settling, man. But I think, being selfish, man, can be a good thing, man. Certainly when it comes to getting yourself together so you are emotionally ready. You're mentally and emotionally stable enough to handle a family. Certainly, you got to be financially able. It was John, the guy, my liaison in Bacala, man. I had to tip my hat to him. I'm going to tell you why. Hey, Pennsylvania expert, thanks for that super chat. He said, Brother Cal, why you don't recommend it? You used to main two households in your early days. I remember how confrontational one exchange was. Yeah, that's why I talk about this stuff, Pennsylvania expert. Remember, my videos are about me. Why would I talk about something that I didn't do? Why would I just make that up? Okay? I don't understand what your point is here. Are you trying to shame me? I talk about stuff I experienced. I'm telling you that it's expensive. Okay? And that was what I was trying to do. I'm saying, okay, remember, I'm not in my right man. I wasn't in my right man until maybe hell after the pandemic, probably 2023, when I start healing really. Because the minute that I start healing over here, then they slap me in the face with the pandemic. I don't recommend it because I did it before. I mean, don't miss the point, guys. I was talking to a guy yesterday. We were going back and forth in the comments about the last video that I made. And, I was talking about these budget videos always leave out the women. We talked about this before. I just kind of, dust stuff like that off because it's important. And, we were going back and forth. And I was like, man, you got too much experience of living overseas to only come in my comments and want to refute what I'm saying. I mean, you got a whole lot you could be bringing to the table. Don't waste your time doing that, man. But now I'm gonna get to the point where I'm gonna interview the guy. I didn't argue with him. I just saying, man, you got too, because I think his girlfriend's from Laos, so evidently he's been there. He's got a lot of experience living overseas in Thailand. I'm pretty sure he's got an empty nest relationship for what he was saying. I'm thinking he's paying I think he said $600 a month rent in Thailand for his woman. I think he's a police in America. But yeah, guys, when I talk about this stuff, 99 times out of 100, I've done it. I've experienced it before. So yeah, you're right, Pennsylvania expat. I did do it, and that's why I don't recommend it. I'm telling you, I was fortunate that you know that the mice wasn't playing when I was away. But I only did it one time. I only did that one time. That was when I was in Cebu. I was 46 years old. I couldn't afford, to um, retire over here. And then the other thing was I wasn't for sure whether or not I was going to marry the woman or not to bring her to America, which I did. Yeah, thanks for the super chat, Howard Pratt. Here's the one earlier. He said, I'm from the U.S. and I got held up because of mistaken identity. Some Nigerians scammed the same taxi driver with fake money. Since I'm dark skinned, they thought it was me. Man, I was pissed. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Now, where was that here? Which is crazy. I mean, no matter where you were. But I just thought that uh, when I saw that reel last night, I said, no, I got to share this with the guys because there's a double standard going on around the world when it comes to dating. And man, we're in shaky times for men right now, man. You better know the woman front was and back was it. Even if you did, she still will pull some old SA grape stuff. He says, W Secrets of Success blog, I agree with your statement about the African countries as well as your statement and Calvin about how the U.S. will respond. But change had to happen. Here comes WW3. Yeah, it's coming though, Dr. Dale. I believe WW3 is coming. Okay, we already got, you know, the Gaza situation. We got the Ukraine situation, and now they're on the verge of bombing Iran. Okay, and all the stuff that's going on in Yemen. Where the Saudis are fighting that proxy war over there, and Lord knows whatever else we've got our hands in. You can argue, not you, Dr. Dale, but anybody can argue this point. But America, we're warmongers, man. I can't remember us not being involved in something. So yeah, that WW3 is coming. Yeah, it's on the horizon. I see it. Hey, what time's the travelers? Thanks for that super chat. I can't read it right now, but I will as I come down. But yeah, but you gotta remember Gaddafi was trying that. Okay, and the United States shut that down. Saddam Hussein was trying something like that. And they shut him down. Y'all don't understand how wicked and evil that U.S. government is. They're capable of anything. I mean, I'm just telling you. You can argue with it if you want. It's just, I'm not with all that rhetoric. I'm just telling you what I've seen in my 62 years. If they'll shoot their own citizens up with gonorrhea, and secretly shoot them up with gonorrhea, the Tuskegee experiment, and just stand around for 40 years and watch how the gonorrhea infects these men and eventually kill a lot of them, what won't they do? I'm just telling you that there's a reason we got that big ass war machine. Okay, it's because we're the bullies on the planet. We'll blow this whole world up first, man. I'm just saying, but people, we sit around and want to listen to that rhetoric. We want to act like what we're seeing is not what we're seeing. People will fool you. They'll want you to think you're crazy. That's why I left, man. That's what me and Brother K was talking about. Hopefully I can get enough money to bring my whole family up out of there, man, because it's trouble, man. I'm seeing it with my own eyes that I don't even fight and argue with people over here. I don't care what color, nationality, race, or whatever it is. We get along fine over here. The minute I step foot in that place over there, all hell breaks loose. And it's going to keep on that way, man. I was watching this thing last night. It's crazy. I'm going to get off this because it upsets me. It was by the Guardian, and they was talking about the Israeli conflict over there, and they were talking to some of these Israelis, man, and you can tell that they've been indoctrinated by what they're saying. That God promised them that land. And I'm thinking to myself, well, God promised you that land. If you're God's chosen people, why would he give you that little piece of land right there that's very unproductive? Why didn't he just give you this big flowing, you know, land that's prosperous and everything like that? And you could just see, you know, how delusional they were. Religion is dangerous, man. I don't care what anybody says. It's dangerous, man. It has people hearing things, you know, and seeing stuff and believing the craziest stuff, man. I'm telling you, I'm not afraid to say it. Hey, what's up, Confident Voice Speak? Religion's dangerous, man. I'm telling you, it is. Thanks for that super chat, Confident Voice Speaks. I'll get to it when I'm on my phone. I can't see it, but let's get away from that, man. Cause see, I'm the type of guy. I live in the real world. I'm not trying to, you know, put a sheet over my head and thinking just because I moved here that it's not happening. And if I don't talk about it, it means it's not happening. No, I'm aware of what's going on in my mind. See, Malcolm X said that before. He said, if you only worry about what's going on in your neighborhood, something's wrong. You should be worried about what's going on around the world. And I picked up on that, man. I care about what's going on. But yeah, men right now, you know, guys used to say, yeah, men are under attack. In America, certainly in the West, we are. I have to say that being a man in today's society, man, is tough, man. We're walking a thin line. This Zion Williamson now, you know, now all of a sudden, all these guys are rapists. If he's a rapist, he needs to be put in jail. It's a money grab. And I think the government ought to say, look, enough's enough with this stuff and start, you know, I mean, because there's a thin line between SA now in America and SA and consent. Okay, 90, you know, that's why they put out there, yeah, no, you can be consent 99 times, but just that one no means no. See, that's bullshit to me, man. And we allow that stuff. You know, men ain't raping these women, man. Yeah, yeah. Then they can commit crimes against their fellow man shamelessly. Say, yeah, religion's dangerous. You know, you can argue with me. I'm not knocking your religion. I'm just saying, in my opinion, it's dangerous, man, because people start hearing stuff. God told me this, and you know, and they start believing stuff from these old, basically new texts. You know, just because we're human, and oh, this was written 5,000 years ago. Well, hell, the Earth is billions of years old, man. It's new. And he gave us this piece of land. Well, hell, can all religions say that? They're the only ones that can say that. And people don't look at them like they're crazy. But if you said it, God gave me, you know, this part of the Philippines over here. Y'all laugh at me. He said, God does not see me as an atheist. He sees me as a loyal opposition. Well, I'm not an atheist. I don't believe in any of the gods, really. Okay. Honestly, because what they believe and what I believe is really the same thing. They just call it one thing, I call it something else. If you get on top of my roof, 2 Poi, and you jump off, what's going to happen? You're going to come crashing to the ground. Does it matter if you are Jewish, Muslim, a Christian, Hindu, or any of that? No. The same laws are in effect. It doesn't matter. You're going to come crashing to the ground. The minute you jump, the law of gravity takes over. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, rich or poor, educated or not. This is what we need to be paying attention to. You hearing voices. He said, everyone is an atheist to every other God but their own. Say that, man. Say that. You know, that's why it's always going to be a problem. That's why it's so dangerous. Because they'll say, oh, it's only one God. But then, oh, the God I'm serving is not the God you're serving, because the God I'm serving, it tells me this and promises me that and gave me this. Imagine that the slave master it was telling the slave to pray to the same God he was praying to. And he's basically skinning people alive during the daytime. But at nighttime, he's getting on his knees praying to this God who, you know, uh, said it's okay, gave him permission to do it. He says, men make the laws and women are masters at manipulating those laws with their bodies. Well, if you try to date, I don't think a man can date a disabled woman. I mean, that was born disabled. I'm not talking about had an accident and all of that. If you go on my Sunshine Show's Facebook page and you see that man, if the roles were reversed, that man would be locked up. Society won't allow him to date a woman in that condition. But it will allow a woman to date a man in that condition. It's a double standard. You will go to jail over here for that. Okay? You're going to be ridiculed if you marry a woman with no arms and no legs. He's a freak. He's only going with her for money. He's using her and abusing her and all this. They always see the worst in men. It's that halo effect when it comes to women, just in another way. The woman can't do no wrong, really, until they do wrong. And this isn't a man against woman thing. I'm just saying that this is facts. You can't date a woman in that condition. This guy's, he's like this. He don't know where he is. And I'm like, where's his family? Who allowed him to get involved like that? And then they're saying in the comment, oh, that's true love. Oh, that's bullshit, man. Ain't no damn true love. He said, catch that. He said, I caught that 18 to 80 blind cripple, a crazy video you posted on Facebook, had me rolling. Yeah, you saw it, right? You see it? Q in the Philippines. It's, it's like they got a whole, that's their whole genre. It's her dancing in front of him. He's sitting there. All he can do is like that. That's a crime to me. He said, that's so true, Cal. I agree with everything you said on religion. Religion is dangerous and toxic. Nothing fun about it. I mean, it's the fact, man. Well, look at what's going on around the world. A lot of it, has to do with religion. When the people start talking about their hearing stuff, God told them this and promised them that, and he said this, but we never see the guy. Like, I'm supposed to take your word for it? Come on, man. I ain't buying that. I'm sorry. I'm not knocking anybody's religion. Don't get me wrong. I think that's one of our constitutional rights in America. That's part of free speech. That's part of the First Amendment. Your right to practice religion or not. Okay. He says, wait. He says, so is the guy you talking about with no arms and legs? He in the Philippines? No, he's getting married in Africa. My daughter posted that. She said, this is about to be me because I'm tired of being broke. And he got this little guy, no arms, no legs. He's propped up in a wheelchair. And he got this big African woman. They're married. They're getting married. They're at their marriage ceremony. And he's just sitting there. He can't do nothing else. He's just looking at her. And I'm saying, why isn't that a crime? because we're living in a woman's world right now. Women are taking over. And I'm like I said, Dr. Deb, I respect you and all women. I'm just telling you how it is. That wouldn't work in a man's world. A man can't do that. Well, we're not talking about that. We're talking about, okay, how many women do you see being charged with SA and grape? Women celebrities. It's just too easy. you know, and it's not, uh, we can't trade places, Cisco. You can't be a woman. Do you think a woman would want to trade and do, see, they're under the delusion that they can do what we can do, but they can't. We're the ultimate multitaskers, man. I'm talking about real men. I'm not talking about these guys masquerading as men, simply paying the bills and that's it. That's not a man. That's an ATM, Cisco. We talking about real men who are emotionally, mentally stable, who set an example for their families and all that. See, we're not doing all of that. We're financially capable of putting everything on our shoulders. Man, being a man in society today is not an easy thing. And we think it is because we're not playing the role of men. We're playing the role of the ATM machine. Man, you realize what the role of a man is? What does it say? It says the primary decision maker and provider, as well as the protector and the maintainer. And you got to set the example and all the other stuff you got that they want us to do. But a woman thinks that she can do all that. Okay? And you say, get paid less, marry these abusive dudes. There was a guy, my meet and greet was being abused by the woman. Now, why he's putting up with it, I don't know. It works both ways. But society has us programmed. See, you think that domestic abuse is only the man on the woman. See, that's part of that indoctrination, man. That's not true, man. We just don't report it. We're supposed to be men. We've taught to be stoic and self-reliant. Don't seek help. Our communication skills are shot. We don't want to be seen as vulnerable, so we're not going to show our vulnerability. You ain't going to cry. You're going to hold it in till you snap and blow your brains out. Women try to commit suicide more than men, but men, we succeed more. Okay, because we're under a whole lot more than the woman. We'll shoot ourselves. Hey, thanks, Rashad, for the super chat. He said, there's an inspirational vid you did on the brother that died in the Philippines that was homeless in the States. Bros, get your life together and make moves. Oh, he said, there's an inspirational video that I did that's going around that somebody did on a brother who died in the fields that was homeless in the States. Do that again, Rashad. What are you really talking about? Yeah, they're asking us to do a whole lot. Most of us, okay, we don't have that example to begin with. Even if the man's in the house, he's not that example. In America, you got women who want to be the primary decision maker. And they earning a whole lot more money than us, so they're a provider. And so all we've done is relegated ourselves to be the ATM. We've relinquished all our other responsibilities. And that diminishes your role in the family, in the house. He said 1 year is cool, but why? What are we talking about, TJ? Sorry, I missed that. But the thing, yeah, you see, now you're agreeing with me, Cisco. But how many of us really lead in our houses? How many of us really set the example? How many of us are really men? We're just males. Man, this definition of man, of being a man, boy, it's tough. Okay. First of all, we don't even communicate to let people know, look, man, I'm vulnerable in this, so that you can acquire the support that you need around you. We got the wrong definition of what a man is. All this messes a lot on the plate. And then you trying to balance self-preservation and being the man in the household. Man, it's a challenge, dude. That many of us fall short. We don't have nowhere to go to learn to be a man, though. Some of us grow up with men in the house, but they're not that man. We need support groups like this. Y'all know y'all can bring your problems to this community. At least, you can share your pain. We don't want to do that. We don't want to ask for help. But yeah, Q in the Philippines, thanks for that super chat. He said, donating so you can keep making these great videos. Salute, Unc. You're the reason why I found a quality Filipino and went to the Philippines. Oh, man, well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I mean, really. But yeah, I think we need to help each other. We need to have more men support groups because we're getting whooped out here, man. But nobody wants to admit it. A lot of us aren't even mentally and emotionally stable enough to be the man in the house. We're certainly not financially secure enough. But you'll put that front up. You can't even be honest with yourself. What kind of example are you setting? But when we talk about it, y'all get offended. I'm not going to let a woman define my role in the house or anybody, because when they do that, man, more than likely you're going to be biting off more than you can chew. They're going to expect stuff out of you. Where's the boundaries? Have we set any boundaries as men? Are we just everything goes? I don't know. Somebody talk to me, man. Put it in the comments. A lot of men who come over here, myself included, we just said, okay, I'm just gonna pay the bills. I'm 62. I'm retired now. I'm too old for all the rest of that stuff. And you pay a price for that. You pay a price for that. Yeah, this is it. Thank you, TJ, because a lot of people have been talking about this. Man, who would that appeal to? Why are people so stupid? You have a multi-entry and exit tourist visa already, Lamont. You can come and go to the Philippines all you want, and guess how much it costs? Nothing. So long as you leave before the 30 days. Now, if you stay here 59 days, which you get 59 days, it's going to cost you about $28. This is for people, I don't know who would buy that visa. Okay, because they're wasting their money. And remember, this is the Philippines. They're not going to relinquish all of that money that they're getting just to give a guy. Okay, if this visa was true, and you can pay $90 for a whole year, which it's not, the Philippines would go bankrupt. You think those express lane fees raise billions of pesos every year, guys. Those immigration fees raise billions of pesos every year. It's their way of making up for the lack of tourists that they get. But if you read that, the whole thing, Lamont Teller. Obviously, you're not. They said it's an option for travelers who need multi visits to the Philippines. And I'm like, well, why would you pay $90 for that privilege when you have it already? Once you stay over 59 days here, now it becomes something totally different. It's a long-term stay visa. And you pay about what, $300 a year for that. But I can go back and forth to the Philippines as many times as I want. They're not going to stop me. If I left, remember, I left here after 6 years, went home to the States for 7 years, and came back to the Philippines. Guess how much it cost me? Nothing to come to the Philippines. And then if I go to Thailand or Vietnam and all that, it starts all over. So when I come back, guess how much it costs me? Nothing. I don't know who would buy that visa. But people have brought that up now. Even Brother K brought it up. I was talking to him today. It's like, dude, why would you want to waste your money on that? You've already got that. And it's free. They just don't give that to you and say, oh, all I got to do is pay $90 and no more visa fees for a year. That's not what they're saying. That's not for somebody who's going to stay here long term. Anyway, it wasn't designed for the long-term stay people. But it's just more information to confuse people. Like the guy Ocean Breeze was on here the other day talking about become a great negotiator over here. That's bullshit. You don't need to be no great negotiator in the Philippines. Where are you living? Who you dealing with? Where you constantly negotiating with folks. But if you knew, you're thinking, oh man, everywhere I go, it's relentless scamming going on here. You know, yeah, it happens every day, but it ain't no relentless scamming happening to you. If it is, I'd ask you, why are you putting up with it? Does it happen every day? Yeah. But to say that men, yeah, see, look at Derek Casanova. So why would you need that $90, Derek? That would be a waste of money because every time you fly in from Thailand, it's free. You can use that $90 for something else. But you got people who read more into that. Don't you know if that visa was what they're saying, telling us it is, everybody would have that. Why in the world would people need an SRV? They just pay $90 a year and stay here all year. Come on, guys, y'all smarter than that. Or maybe you're not. I don't know. We're not in the same basket, but we want to put every foreigner in the same basket. Some of you guys, man, need to quit, need to stop it. Okay, I'm sorry. He says, I'm not going to be going in and out of the country when I'm in my 80s. Yeah, it wouldn't appeal to you anyway. I don't know who it would appeal to from a visa-free country. We're a visa-free country, America is. I don't understand that. That's why nobody is talking about it. But all of a sudden, somebody done dug that up and decided to throw that out there and confuse everybody. If all you got to do is think it all the way through, you already have it's supposedly a multi-entry and exit tourist visa. Well, guess what? If you come from a visa-free country, you already have that with the standard tourist visa. You don't need to spend $90. Well, if you do, that's on you. It ain't gonna get you any more than what anybody else has got. He says, I'm giving the Philippines to myself as a promised land, a promised paradise, maybe. Yeah, but we'll laugh at you. We'll look at you, hey, you're crazy. But not certain people. They can actually say that with a straight face. That God, promised us this land, and and then when they, what the craziest thing I've heard here lately, because I read up on this stuff, they're talking about sending all the Palestinians to Ireland, of all places. Like, Ireland, come on, man, y'all crazy. But religion told them, and they're not going to stop until they kill all those people and displace them over there, because God told them something. But anybody that knows anything about that history knows that they considered other places before they decided on what they call Israel now. Argentina, and I want to say the Congo, somewhere in Africa. Look it up if you think I'm lying. But you can't even talk like that. People will really counsel you for that. You can talk about anybody else, but you talk about that over there, man, they coming for you. He says it pays to be a good negotiator on Walker Street now. Maybe, yeah, you're right. Okay. But who stays on Walker Street? He should have said that. He said, "What's up, Brock's Big Adventure?" He said, "What's up, Cal? How was the book so far?" It's great, man. One of the best books I've I've read in a long, long time. And I ain't gonna lie to you, okay? Because a couple other people gave me some books, and I was debating, because I thought, and this is to show you, I don't need to assume anything. I thought that Langston Hughes was a different type of writer. I thought he was over my head. He was too, you know, um, I used to call Barack Obama something. But anyway, I just thought he was just he's a great writer, man. He writes as if you're right there in the story. But I love that book, man. I'm gonna give it to somebody else, a real reader. Maybe Dr. Dale Mighton and Clossie, her husband. They look like they would enjoy a book like that. But it's really an interesting book. Not only that, it's like a history book. He's talking about what's going on in the 1930s, as a black man. It's so interesting, man. Thank you for that book. Because when you gave it to me, I was like, it's Langston Hughes. He's like bourgeoisie, you know, he's too much for me. But he's not. It's a great book. What's he saying? But to say that uh men aren't under attack, I don't know. They are. That's all I'm seeing in the newspaper. I mean, do you really think these men are raping these women? Uh, do we have to have more self-restraint, more judgment? Remember, though, y'all think I just be on here talking. Attractive women, I'm talking about attractive women that those guys be talking to. It affects your judgment and your decision making. They're guilty of that, yeah. But if they're SAing these women and they're raping these women, they need to go to jail, not to the bank. And every time you look up, there's somebody happening to. Shannon Sharpe, Diddy. It's like, what's going on, man? We're easy targets. But as long as we got men that's gonna uh she said we Filipinos are not scammers but great cheaters. You would know, I wouldn't. I would never say that. But this isn't even about what that's about. This is about me seeing a reel on Facebook last night of a Filipina, young Filipina, with a dis a disabled man. He wasn't disabled. This guy was disabled. He was disconnected from the real world. I mean, he can't do anything. He certainly can't go to the ATM machine. He can't manage his money. He can't do anything for himself. That should be a crime. He shouldn't be allowed to date under any circumstance. I'm sorry. At some point, man, we gotta, if y'all always talking about morality, y'all just pick and choose what you want to be moral about. That's a crime. Okay? Ain't no love about going on there. Okay, what you saying? No love going on there. He said we got a lot of those these sucks in Thailand. Like that though, it would be a crime in the United States. You couldn't do it. I guarantee you this. This is 100% facts. If they're not even going to be eligible to bring that woman back to America, because you got to prove to the embassy that it's a real relationship. Well, how? When they're going to talk to him, he's like this. Okay? There's nothing that he can't, it's not a consensual relationship. He can't consent to anything. How did they even meet? Somebody hooked him up. He's not on the dating site like that. Go and see the condition this man is in. Now, the guy in the wheelchair with no arms and legs, he probably, still got his, you know, you know, he's probably in a good state of mind, in his right state of mind. Let me say that. But they know it. And why would a woman marry a man like that? They get the benefit of the doubt. If I did it, I'm a freak. What were you doing? All y'all got is visions of what me and the legless, armless woman is doing in the bed. That's the only thing you're going to think as far as our relationship. You're not going to think that, oh, she got a beautiful personality and all that. You're going to be like, well, how's Cal screwing this woman? That's all you're going to do. And you're going to say, I ought to be ashamed of myself for dating a woman like that. But if you go in the comments on both of these reels that I'm telling you about, oh, now that's true love. He really got him a good woman. And you see people on YouTube like that. Oh, you got a real good woman. Look at her. Man, the woman should be locked up. You try that and see what's going to happen. They're going to lock your ass up. Only way we're going to deal with a woman like that, she got to have millions of dollars. You got some sick, deranged man who may be, raping the women in the nursing home, because that's happened. But ain't going to be no regular man. Marry no woman like that with no. This woman has nothing. I mean, she would have nothing that a man finds attractive. All you gotta do, man, these things are viral. Okay, go to. I think you a friend. Go to my Sunshine Show's Facebook page and go down. You see, my post is one of the things I shared. Because I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna share this with people because y'all think I just be on here talking crazy. Even Maryland said that. Ain't nothing, ain't no love. But this is the land of misfits. The memo is out there. If you blind, crippled, or crazy, you don't have any arms and don't have any legs, come to the Philippines. There's somebody over here for you. You can be blind, whatever it is. Just have a pension. That's the memo that's out there. We're sending men to the slaughter, basically. I'm not saying that when I talk about getting on the dating site and all of that, there has to be somebody to be that buffer there to help some of us as we get older. Remember, our mental faculties aren't always there. But we always come to, oh, he's a grown man, it's none of our business. And we let people come over here in different places, not just the Philippines, and get rolled. I don't advocate that type of unspoken agreement. That's not what I'm talking about. Q in the Philippines says, we can't judge Unc as long as he's happy. Well, how do you know he's happy? He don't even know he's happy. He's in a bad shape, man. See, you're condoning it, dude. Don't condone that. Somebody should have already stepped in between that. That's it. Now you agree with me. He says no different than coming to the Philippines dating pay for play. Did you watch my video? Didn't I say that that's me in that wheelchair? Me and that man have more in common than what I'm willing to admit. You must not have watched the video. I didn't listen to it. Okay. The only difference though is I can walk and talk and wipe my own behind, and and get out of there if it gets too hot. He can't. He can't do anything for himself. If it hits the fan, it's going to hit him. He's not going nowhere. Okay? So I'm not judging. I didn't judge. I'm just telling you from my opinion. I'm not judging him. But that's how we allow this type of stuff to go on in our society. We use that kind of words and stuff. Y'all pick and choose what you want to get angry about and what's moral or not. But when a guy comes over here and dates an 18-year-old, now he should be locked up. He's a pedophile and this and that. But you allow a woman to date a man like that. Bullshit, man. I'm going to say what's on my mind. Oh, okay, yeah, Richard. Thanks for that super chat. He said, yeah, Unc, the video was Mr. Clarence Williams. Yeah, that's a good friend of mine, Sammy Davis. That's his uncle, our first cousin. He said that man has a legendary story for all expats to inspire to be. That's my favorite Sunshine Shows video ever. Yeah, he came over here, man. Yeah, he wasn't doing anything, but he wasn't like that. Yeah, he does have a inspirational story, and it was Sammy Davis that encouraged him to come over here and say, hey man, it's better, you'll be better off over here than you are in the United States based on your income and everything like that. But yeah, we're all basically that, but we'll come over here and we'll brag about it. Oh, look at the woman I got. Well, you might as well be in a wheelchair, dude. It's the same thing. It's the same damn thing. But we're talking about empty nest relationships today. Be honest, man. Is there anybody on here that's in an empty nest relationship? Meaning you're in your country, but you're maintaining a house, apartment, condo, long distance relationship with the Filipino over here in the Philippines or Thailand or wherever, Africa or wherever. Okay, you're maintaining a whole residence over here while you're there, and you're only here for 6 months or less. That's an empty nest where you're not here. You've left, but you're still paying for everything as if you were here. Who's doing that? Put a 1. Be honest now, because I know you're doing it. The guy said, yeah, Cal, you did it. Yeah, I did it back in 2010. That's why I'm talking about it. I don't talk about anything I haven't seen, lived, and experienced. But no, I'm not judging anybody. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing in front of my face, Q, in the Philippines. You guys, y'all pick and choose when you want to get upset. And it's always something the man's doing, not the woman. So you come over here or whatever it is and date a woman like that and see what happens. He gonna throw your ass up underneath the jail. You ain't gonna have a court date. He said, I don't know, guy, dude in the wheelchair look pretty happy. Well, he's probably got one of them permanent, that's his permanent expression, Cisco. When you in his shape, your expression never changes. You got that going on. He's like, you know, he looks happy all the time. But I'm saying to myself, how in the world did they meet in the first place? I'm glad you went and watched it. He said, don't be a hater, Cal. That's funny, man. No, I'm not hating. I just want y'all to understand that we're all the man in the wheelchair, Cisco. If you over here and you on that dating site, you know, hell, I'm angry now. I'm like, well, hell, if that's all I had to do to get a woman, I'm mad. I done overspent. I done did over everything over here. I feel cheated. Yeah, I feel cheated. Buttermilk biscuits. If he can have the same thing as I got, I mean, this guy can't do anything for himself. I feel sorry for him if a fly landed on his nose or something. It drive him crazy. He can't do anything. Yeah, but it's not about the wheelchair. That's not about the wheelchair, guys. Because yeah, you're right. That's not what we're talking about. Go on my Sunshine Show's Facebook page, Thomas. This guy is in bed. I don't know if he's suffering from cerebral palsy, whatever it is, man. He got it all going on. He got a little bit of everything going on in that wheelchair. It's a whole lot going on in that little 15-second reel. And it kind of like, it's a wake-up call for guys because we really think we're doing something over here. But yeah, you're right. Now it's not about the wheelchair. Because I see a lot of guys over here in wheelchairs and stuff. But we're all the same, though. We're all the same. If a woman would choose him, you know, she's choosing him for the same reason your woman chose you. I mean, if he got a woman like that, what am I bragging about? It just shoots all that out of the water that you see these vloggers talking about over here. Where's the best place to meet a Filipino, the best Philippines and all that? It's bullshit. All you got to do is basically show up, really. But I don't advocate that. I advocate trying to protect yourself, protect your assets and all that. You know that's going on over here. So that's why I tell you, so you can better prepare for it. You don't want to be part of the damn circus. That's a circus going on right there. I don't advocate that. No, I'm sorry. He says, I'm currently in Manila in Paranaque City. I just walked 6 miles in the morning and watching you now as my Filipino makes my breakfast. You winning, man. But you might as well be in a wheelchair, Hal. Suffering from cerebral palsy and all the other shit that, she'd still be cooking your breakfast. You just be rolling for 6 miles. See? You get no points for this anymore. After seeing that, we don't get any points for being in a relationship over here. That did it. Y'all get no more points for that. Yeah, he said my answer would be no because I ensure that my returns to the Philippines did not have long gaps. Yeah, and that's what I was doing too. See, even though I was in an empty nest relationship and I was maintaining a house, a resident in America, and one over here, I would only be justifying it if I said, yeah, I was only gone the most 2 months. You're still doing it. It's still expensive. I think it's unnecessary. And I think you're doing too much. We're already doing so much. You don't have to do all of that. But I still haven't seen anybody that's um, that's doing it. Put a one in the comments if you're doing it. Hey, Dank Magician Guy, thanks for that super chat. He said, what's the number one thing a young guy should watch out for on vacation in the Philippines besides getting love scammed by still getting some, booty or whatever it is? But one thing we don't talk about, man, bring some good off lotion if you're going to be around um, the beaches and stuff. With a lot of the young guys go to the beaches and stuff. The mosquito, that little bitty mosquito can cause you a whole lot of problems. And just because it doesn't happen, actuarials say that a certain amount of people get infected by dengue and all that every year. But I would just say what young guys usually do, we spend too much money too quickly. Everything looks like a deal. Dank Magician Guy, there's no, you're not cautious enough. And then, you spread yourself too thin. I'm just telling you, because I used to come over as a young man in my 40s. But you don't have to worry about, if you're only going to be here 2 weeks or whatever it is. I wouldn't worry about getting love scammed. But yes, a lot to be worried about. But I would, have a clamp on my budget, on my wallet. Because I've got a young guy I'm talking to back and forth. He's actually in Kentucky, but this guy's sharp though. He's got a great life over there. He's just tired of it over there. And he was living the 5-star lifestyle for I think he was here for 2 weeks in the Philippines. And he could afford it, but I think eventually that's going to get old when you see that there's a 3-star lifestyle that's just as good. But that's what a lot of the younger guys do. They spend big money, man, because they want what they want. They don't have a whole lot that they can weigh it up against. So they just know, hey, I got 5,000. I'm gonna be there for 2 weeks. I'm staying in the Park Lane. That's the name of that hotel I could never think of. That was one of the few luxury hotels that was open around the Cebu Business Center when I was coming in 2009 and 2010. I was staying there. I did everything everybody else did. Because, $70 a night back then, I don't know what it would be now. And that woman was looking at me like I was crazy. Like, you really going to spend that much for one night in a hotel? Yeah. Because it's a deal to me. No, thanks for the super chat, Q. He says, you're being insensitive, huh? But I agree, people trip over age gap relationships way too much. If you are a legal consenting adult, then no problem. Well, you must have not seen this real. I'm not being insensitive. This is the nitty gritty. I'm being truthful. I'm being real. And it's just my opinion. Go over there and watch that real before you start. This isn't a consenting relationship. There's no way it is. He can't consent to anything. He can't even hold his damn, poop. It just he's in a diaper. I guarantee you. This man is in bad shape. Okay, this isn't an age gap relationship, man. This is far beyond that. Q. This is a crime. If you would date a woman like that anywhere in the world, you're gonna be charged with SA and rape. I'm sorry. Now, there's no way that should be happening anywhere in the world. I'm not picking on Philippines because I told you the African woman was marrying a man, Stumpy, I guess you would call him. This guy had, can't offer this woman nothing, man, but his money. And that's obviously what she wants. But y'all condone it. We're no better off. You just said it. I agree with you. It's the same damn thing. But there ain't no consent. If you call that a consensual relationship, dude. He said, what's wrong with a 45-year-old? I don't know. Who said there's something wrong with her, Ron? There was a guy at the meet and greet. He had a woman, I guess she would probably been 45 or 46. He was hot. Okay? All I'm saying, she started singing to him and everything like that. I don't know. What would be wrong with a 45? I don't know. I don't know. Are you talking to somebody else? I mean, he hit the jackpot with her. And I told him when I first met him, I said, dude, you hit the, I told her in front of her. I said, man, what'd you do? Get such a nice looking woman like this. You hit the jackpot. Exactly what I told him. And he gave me some hot peppers. Oh man, these things are delicious. And he gave me this, I forgot the name of this stuff that Filipinos drink their coffee with. It's almost like a cookie like thing. With them hot peppers, oh man, they're delicious. I put some in my moonbeams the other day. He says, I do not trust any of the condos in the Philippines. They're using a lot of Chinese engineering firms. And after what happens everywhere, they build falls down. I'm very shy of anything above my head. Well, I don't know. I don't really see them falling down over here. Now, do they keep up with the maintenance as well as I think they should? No, but they're well built. I mean, you got to realize most of these places over here, they're built with concrete, cement, and hollow block. There ain't a whole lot. You better have a hell of a typhoon or earthquake to bring them down. It's not a lot of that fabricated stuff that they use in America. That's why you're not going to build a house over here in 30 days. But I haven't seen any buildings fall down over here now. Have I heard about electric and water being cut off where the developer hasn't paid the bills? Yeah. But buildings falling down? No, I haven't heard of that one yet. I'm not saying you're not telling the truth, but I haven't heard of that yet. He said, damn, LOL, the chat don't see it. It's cool. I'll be unsubscribing from the channel. Supported 3 years. I love them. But what are you talking about, man? He said, that's good, bitch. Okay, Rashad, just go ahead and unsubscribe. Guess what? YouTube is going to replace you, man. You do this every damn live stream when I already told you. You've never sat on this side. You don't see all these things going. There's no way I can keep up. Eventually, I'm going to get to your super chat, man, or whatever it is. I sacrifice. I don't get on I could get on my computer, Then you got a messed up audio. Then you'll be complaining about that. I done told you over and over, man, I don't do this on purpose. Hell, there's over 200 people on this live stream. So guess how many comments is probably over here? Probably 1,000. You think you can keep up? Well, go ahead and unsubscribe, man. You know, thanks for all your support, dude, but, you know, you're unreasonable. We go back and forth on this every week. YouTube's only going to replace you with 3 more people. I'm in business with YouTube. YouTube don't care nothing about Rashad Smith and whether he unsubscribes from me or not. They're going to say, hey, this guy Cal, he's putting up good content. Blah, blah, blah. Let's send some more people his way. You're not hurting my feelings, man. I mean, this is the problem. We'll fall out over little stuff like that when the whole world's on fire, man. You know, this is what I was talking about. Being a man in today's society is tough because most of us aren't real men. We're males. No way we're playing that role, guys. Okay. And this is a perfect example. Right there. You're not doing all that. You know. But that goes for anybody. If it wasn't for my viewers and subscribers, I would be nothing. But if you get mad at me over some simple petty stuff and decide, hey, I'm going to unsubscribe, just unsubscribe. You don't even have to tell us. But YouTube's going to replace you. YouTube is a business. Okay? I'm sorry, man. It's just real life. That's the nitty gritty. I hope you do stay around. But unsubscribing is not hurting my feelings. They're going to replace you. I'm sorry, but they are. You know, but this is the reason why we're under attack. And the script has flipped. We won't stand together. You got guys on here saying, oh, you're judging people. No, we need to help people like that. When you see something like that, you know, stop standing off to the side saying it's none of your business. You know, then people say, oh, yeah, you know, men aren't under attack. And then, you know, we say, oh, well, he needs to practice better judgment and better decision making. Yeah, he does. You know, let's hold him accountable to that, but don't throw him under the bus. We need more men in this society. We're going to stand up, you know, just like people, you know, their own guys who are saying to Travis Hunter, they're saying, look, dude, you should have signed a prenuptial agreement. And they're saying, oh, leave him alone, you know, you're meddling, blah, blah, blah. No, they're trying to look after the man's best interest. He's young. You know, maybe he's not thinking like that. Who thinks when they get married, on their honeymoon, that they're going to get a divorce? I've talked about this before. That's the time when you come up with the prenup or the end game. You do it when times is good, not when they bad. Now you can agree on it. Okay, look, I just want to make sure it's going to be beneficial for both of us. But you never think about that. Oh, we're going to be married forever. You're not going to be married forever. They're looking after him. Thanks for that super chat, Sonny D. He said, Rashad Smith, kick rocks, baby boy. You know, but it's not that deep, man. He knows that not only am I on my phone and the StreamYard's got this big thing in front of me, and, you know, I can't scroll down. I can't see everything like I can see on my laptop. Okay, and there's 222 people watching, so that means there's 1,000 comments over here. There's so many people who probably deserve to have their comments read. I just can't get to them, man. I'm not the type that's going to go, even if I went one by one, the hour and a half or 2 hours to be over with before I even got a third of the way down. But he knows that. He's so sensitive about that for some reason. Eventually, I'll get to your comment, man. Yeah, he'll be okay. But this is the problem. I've lost so many good men, good followers, over the tiniest thing, man. You wouldn't believe it. Over the tiniest thing. And I'm saying it's time we stop that, man. We need each other. You're living in a woman's world right now. And when you confront it with that, you're going to run back to groups like this. Because only in a woman's world would people be talking about, oh, that's real love that's going on over here. You know, this is what's going on. This is why so many men around the world are losing their money, their life savings, their lives, getting their hearts broke, because we're consenting to it. We're saying all they're grown men, they can do whatever they want to do. Yeah, see, but you got to understand, man. Look, I'm sorry, guys. I can't keep explaining this to y'all. He said, yeah, us men are strong together. We need to not sweat the small stuff. And thank you, Confident, Magician God. Yeah, you're right. I thought that was Confident Voice Speech, because he came to the meet and greet the other day. And he made an effort to get there. Everybody did, really, because it was only a couple of people here from St. Carlos City, expats. The rest were from McAllen, Angeles City, Las Piñas, Manila. He was from Surigao. He said he's lonely. That's why he's upset that you didn't get to his super chat. But this is every day, though. He knows what I'm facing over here. And I try to explain it to people. That just because you comment, you got to realize there's other people in the comment who can answer his question. I don't have to answer. We got Thomas Marshall, Cisco, What Times It Travels, Roger Walker, I Love the Chime, the moderators. They see his chat long before me, and they can answer it for him. These people have years and years, multiple years of experience overseas and stuff. I'm not doing it on purpose. I just want you one day to be on this side, if you're fortunate enough. This is a good problem to have. A lot of vloggers don't have this problem. But don't take it personal, man. You know, I promise, man. I would never do that. Why would I do that? He said, we're just heckling you, bro. I know. But you came to it's the second meet and greet you come to. This guy, man, is a great young man. If you see him, you would think he's a retired E7 from the Navy. Now remember, I was in the Navy. And when I think about, see, back in my day, Chiefs didn't look like him. He young. Man, Chiefs were old and grizzled. They were hard. They were tough, man. If you made it to E7 in the 80s, you was a bad boy. They got big respect. This guy looks like he could be my son. I'm like, man, boy, times sure have changed. But he's a great guy, man. A young guy going places. But yeah, I don't intentionally do that, man. You know, but every week he's I mean, really, at least once or twice a week, he's on here getting mad because I didn't. He acts like when you comment that I see your comment right away. I do if I'm on my laptop. He said, yeah, it's a problem in a good way. So people are much more sensitive nowadays. That's why there will never be another All in the Family. Yeah, or Sanford and Son, or the Jeffersons. We grew up in a time, man, where people had thick skin. We just told it, how it was. This new generation, man, now I'm like, damn. He said, Cal, have you ever thought about using an external camera and mic on your laptop to give you more flexibility? Well, I actually do, but not the mic. I've got a new mic, but I don't know if it's going to work on my laptop. I'm going to try it the next live stream. But I already use an external camera. But I just think it's that damn. I've had that laptop a long time, and it's like it's a Chinese made Huawei, Huawei. It's like a Mac knockoff. What it is. What's up, Xavier? Appreciate you, man. Yeah, he came to a meet and greet at Meg's. And I think, he's from Portland, Oregon. Let's see the big barbecue man. He got his own business. He said, that feeling happened to me, Cal, but I had to realize the world doesn't revolve around me. I'm manned up. We need more men in the world right now. In this moment, in this hour, man, we just do. We just don't have enough men, man. If they are, they're surely not on the front page. We can't see them, man. They shut us down, man. They got Diddy and them up there and everybody like that. You know, the real men, man, need to step forward. Because, man, what's going on now? What's up, Big Jeff? Thanks for that super chat. I'll get you eventually what you're saying. I'm just on my phone. But if you haven't went on my YouTube channel yet, I mean my Facebook page, Sunset Show's Facebook page, and saw that yet, go do that. And then, come back here and give me your take on that and what you think about it. Is it nobody's business? What if that was your son or your brother or something? Wouldn't you want to see if he's okay? Okay. But let's kind of talk a little bit about, the budget video I did and how they conveniently leave out women in the budget. Because the guy pushed back and says, oh, most of them do. I've never seen a budget video talk about a woman's expense. I've never seen it. If I did, I never would have talked about it. They conveniently leave that out. She's a big part of your budget, her and everything that goes along with it. I'm going to say this again. Most of us have no idea what we're stepping into over here. He even pushed back when he says, oh, I disagree that dating in the Philippines is more expensive than dating in America. Well, eventually, okay, in the long run, it is. In the short run, you may think it's more expensive in America, but eventually, the woman you're dating in America has a job. Eventually, she's going to say, if she's any kind of woman, oh, let me pay for it this time, especially when you start getting together. I'm not talking about just being strangers. Eventually, you date somebody to hopefully, develop some type of relationship. But over here, you're paying for 100% of everything all the time. It's more expensive over here than that's what makes the Philippines more expensive than what, you think it's going to be. Simply because of that. You got to understand, man, when you go to the resort, you got to take her with you. You got to pay for two people. When you go out to eat, when you go to the movie, all of it. And then a lot of the things you're doing are because of her too. You're trying to impress her. So you're going to stay at the Park Lane. You're going to stay at the Quest or the Baez or what's the other one, the Shangri-La and all in place. You're going to do that because you're trying to impress her. So you're going to spend more money, a lot more money And I did it because I got home after spending that 7,000. I was like, well, damn, I thought the Philippines was supposed to, I thought it's supposed to be cheaper over there than it is over here. It took me a while before I realized what was going on. It was the woman that was causing me to spend so much money. So the budget videos are bullshit. They don't even give you an idea of what you're going to spend because they're leaving out the most important part. There's a whole lot that goes on with them women and why you do the things you do and spend the way you do, your judgments off, your decision making's off. Well, in the short run, Q, okay, he said, yeah, but that was in one day, but eventually, okay, that's going to even itself out because you're probably going to eventually move in with a woman. Nobody just dates forever. Who dates forever? You're dating to develop some type of relationship. No, I'm on this planet. Okay. I spent more money, way more money over here than I ever spent on dating in America. I'm just telling you my experience. In the short run, you spent 1,000 in a day. Well, see, who am I talking to, Q? Who does that? The average man don't do that. I would say only a fool would do that. Certainly on a stranger. What did you do? Tell us that, Q. What did you do to spend $1,000 in one day on a date? Now, if you spent that on your woman, what do you consider a date? Are you trying to get to know her? And you spent 1,000? You trying to impress the woman. You trying to buy it. See, you got to read these comments and figure out who you're talking to. Of course, it's going to be more expensive for you if you're spending 1,000 in a day. How can you even spend 1,000 in a day? Come on, man. Y'all crazy. Who else has spent 1,000 in a day on here? On a woman that you don't even know, that's not your wife, that's not your significant other, or living partner. Put a 1 in the comment. I don't believe it. And if you did, shame on you. Okay? Hey, Q's Love, thanks for that super chat. He said, peace, brother. Long time listener and subscriber. Man, I have your email address. I wanted to reach out to you. Oh, sure. Hey, Jacob Tanje, can you put my email address up? It's real easy. It's Cal, C-A-L, Roach, R-O-A-C-H 1 at gmail.com. I actually have a Yahoo, but this is where I, correspond with my viewers and subscribers. But thank you. Is it Questlove for the super chat? Yeah, 1,000. Who else has spent 1,000 a day on a date? What would you spend 1,000 on? And why would you spend 1,000? I mean, is this Janet Jackson in her prime? Did you spend Beyonce in her prime before all the men she was dealing with? Who you spending 1,000 on? What did you do? I don't believe it. You're a damn fool. The more I think about it. Even as high as prices is now. What'd you do? Rent a limousine or something? Hell, my wedding didn't even cost $1,000. And you spent $1,000 in one day. Man, we need help, guys. See? It eventually come out. We need help. Somebody should have stood up and said, hey, man, don't do that. Unless she's your wife, and ain't a woman worth $1,000 in one day. She must have sucked a good ass dingaling for 1,000 a day. I mean, for one day, I'd still be clapping them damn cheeks for 1,000. You crazy, man. Come on, guys. Show me some receipts. I don't believe it. You're just like that guy who said, oh, I sent the woman over here 20 million pesos. I said, you lying. I don't want to hear nothing else. Send me some receipts. And he did. A stack of receipts. He sent that woman 20 million pesos. But he never answered my question. I said, well, where'd you get this money from? To send this money. He was sending her money every single day. This woman must have thought, I'm dreaming. What did I ever do to deserve this? I was going to bring him on the live stream and he chickened out. At the last minute, he chickened out. He said, what planet am I living on? What planet are you living on, Q? To spend 1,000 in one day on a woman? I hope you're not the Q I think you are. You're my buddy, Q, because I don't believe you did that. Come on, guys. Somebody answer that for me. He said, you got to factor that woman in your budget videos. You can do without some things if you're single rather than being in a relationship. Absolutely. Man, when y'all see me and Marilyn on these vacations, these staycations we go on, you got to realize I got to pay her. If it takes a plane ticket, I got to buy 2 plane tickets. If it's a 2-go, I got to buy 2-go. Ferry, 2 ferry. Okay, round trip. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Okay, I got to get a double room, a queen size bed. Okay, because it's both of us. She may see some souvenirs she likes, but that's my woman. See, it's not a date, but yeah, you see, I got to put that in there. You know, about once a month. Every month you're gonna buy pads. You're gonna buy liners. You know, every now and then you're gonna order some G-strings and our bras and all that other stuff. But they leave that out. And they'll even have the woman sitting right next to them and won't ever bring it up. Like this is free right here. It ain't free. Ain't nothing free over here. But this guy said he spent 1,000 in one night. Who else has did that? Hell, I even spent 1,000 on crack in one night. This guy, he was in his right mind and did that. I don't believe it. I'm sorry. He said, you're a fool if you spend $1,000 on a woman you never met. Yeah, I think he's got dating mixed up. Okay, I think he's got that with, I spent $1,000 on my significant other, my wife, my living partner. And you ain't spend no $1,000 on no woman you trying to court. If you did, yeah. You're in my Hall of Fame, dude, right now. I put you in my Hall of Fame. Q in the Philippines. You're in my Hall of Fame for that. I mean, damn, what'd you take her to Rodeo Drive? What'd you do? Yeah, he said 1,000. See, $1,000. See, but who knows? He might even not even be telling the truth. He wants to prove me wrong. If you spent $1,000 on some old chicken head woman who ended up not being with you any damn way, remember, we want some chicken. We don't want a chicken head. We want some head. We don't want a headache. We want a peace of mind. Mind your own damn business. But if you spend $1,000 on a woman, dude, you crazy. This woman must have, I don't know what kind of woman she was. I'm like, damn. Yeah, everybody's questioning this. I mean, what did you take her to, a Diddy party? What you have? What's that everybody used to drink, that expensive drink everybody used to, that champagne? He done bought 2. That's all you did for the date. You bought her 1 bottle and you 1 bottle. Y'all sat there and got drunk, I guess. For 1,000? Man, come on, guys. I've heard it all now. I don't get mad now. You came on here, Q, and said you spent 1,000. Now we pushing back and saying, hey, you never even told us what you spent it on. He said 1,000 pennies. I'm just saying. I'd like to know what he spent it on. What would you buy 2 front row tickets to see Beyonce? You know, $500 a ticket or something. You know, I could see that. And but 1,000, man, I don't know. You better than me. You're a better man than me. And see, people get mad when you, when you confront them about it and be like, man, what would make you spend 1,000 on a woman? He said they be taking these women shopping on dates. Evidently, what do you do buy the new Jordan 63s or something? Since Jordan's turning 63 next year, they got a special edition. Would you buy the woman some new Jordans or 63s? What the hell did you do? Was you on crack? What was you smoking? Yeah, I spent $1,000. I know that Filipina's probably happy she got your ass now. Now he's in my Hall of Fame because Hal, I don't know if it's Hal Funk based, but it was another Hal used to come on my channel. He spent $20,000 in 1 month. He was the first member of my Hall of Fame, and he had receipts. He spent 20 grand in 30 days in the Philippines. So, it's not unheard of. I know we do all kind of crazy stuff. Yeah, that would be hurting my pocket. But maybe he got it like that. Now he's ghosted us now. He won't tell us what he spent it on because he's ashamed. Yeah, I don't know. You know that real fancy champagne that all the rappers used to have, Moet or something. He done bought a whole case of that, I guess, and gave it to her. I'd still be clapping them cheeks, Q in the Philippines. If I give a woman 1,000 on a date, I'm gonna get a mold of a damn behind. I'm gonna still be clapping them cheeks like that man gave his father that rubber. He gave his father a rubber pussy, right? And it's true. And the father was so happy. He said, now you can have sex anytime you want. Then he gave him the lube and everything. See, I'm going to get a mold of this, her whole bottom half, if I spend 1,000 on her. He said, what's the price on having a good time? Yeah, you can justify it if you want to. Just tell us what you spent it on. No, I didn't ignore him. I addressed him. But this is every day, though. If you own her, Cisco, you see it. I'm like, I acknowledge the super chat, but a lot of this stuff, man, it's so many comments that when I go back and watch this, and I'll be over here in the comment section, the live stream section on YouTube, I'll be like, damn, I missed that. But I missed most of it. It's just no way you can keep up. But I don't have time to argue with people who, if he followed me for 3 years, he know I would never do that on purpose. He would know that I don't have anything to gain. I need all the viewers and subscribers I can get. I got enough haters out there. Then what's he gonna do now? Start up a YouTube channel and make videos about me? You know, I've got enough of that going on. But that's what I deal with. I mean, imagine helping a guy who's on his damn back in the hospital. Nobody, he's speaking and crying out to the universe. And we come to his aid, and I'll be damned if he don't start trolling me. I'm tired of it, man. You know, motherfucker out here crying out in the universe. Ain't nobody heard him but me. Because I got the platform. Hey, let's help this guy. Now all of a sudden he's trolling me, making videos, put my family in it, the videos and stuff, man. You know, I don't got time for that stuff, man. It's petty, man. But my mother always said something. Don't let people change you. I'm not gonna let people change. Okay? Just because people are stupid don't mean you gotta be stupid. My mother had a ninth grade education, one of the most intelligent women that I've ever met. The intelligent people. They ain't gonna, I'm not gonna miss my blessing, being petty back with somebody else. Hey, Cisco, thanks for the super chat. He said, just jokes, Cal. This live is hilarious today. Yeah, I don't take it personal, man. But, if y'all just only knew the what I deal with, okay? I wish they had some type of vlogger support group where we could go, hey, my name is Cal, I'm a vlogger. Hey, Cal. Yeah, damn, made a video about me today. I'm pissed off, man. Tell us about it, Cal, your story. We don't have that. We need it. But I started a support group. And even Brother K, he said, man, these meet and greets, they so need it. He sees the value in those meet and greets. Because he says, man, I'm stuck up in the province. I don't have anybody to talk to most of the time. But he don't realize I'm the same way. Now, we do have a group here of about 4 of us. And we meet, I think, the 3rd Friday of every month for breakfast. But other than that, that's it. Did you go? You take a bath today? When did you eat? Are you hungry? Most of the time it's just crickets, man. You don't have anybody to talk to, But what else is going on out there in the YouTube universe? He said, taking a woman shopping and all she wants to do is go to the OK store. That's if you're lucky. But in the long run, you're going to pay more. Okay, I see it, Q. Thank you. But we want to know, man, what you spent it on. Hey, Q in the Philippines, thanks for that super chat. See, I can't see it on my phone, but I see the super chat, and I'm going to hit it now because once this disappears, I'll be able to hit the comments, and it should be in the newest comment section. But that's just amazing to me. See, I'm an OG now. When you get 62, you're OG. I'm past the unk stage. I just said, I don't know. I've seen some tricking. I've done some tricking in my day. But 1,000, see, baby boomers, man, we don't work like that. Yeah, that would be some of us, that'd be our whole monthly salary. She better be worth it. You imagine now, I'm pretty sure you clapped the cheeks. Hopefully you did. And that would be a disappointment for me. If I'd have spent 1,000, then I go back to the hotel and she's got a dinosaur pussy or elephant pussy. That would really disappoint me. If it's all, dinosaur means it's all dry as a bone, if you touch it, she's squealing. It's old, you know, and then of course the elephant pussy. Everybody's been there. It's big, sloppy, you know. Everybody's been inside of there. That would be a big disappointment to me. That better be my bike. Like I said, it costs more. That your date costs more than my wedding. That's real talk. And most of the money I spent was on beer and liquor for the gas. What are you doing, booby? I think you know, I'm talking about this last wedding I had. I think I spent, I want to say $300 for my wife's gown, and the rest was on food and drinks. Yeah, you got me beat. What's over there? What's for lunch? Did you nothing yet? Where you go? Let's try that pizza then today. You want to try that for lunch? Or what? Does Booby like pizza? See, now this thing won't even move. I don't know what's going on. Look at this. See what I'm saying? It won't move. And to see it's 11:35 now. He sent the super chat at 11:32. It's not going to move. I can't move my comment until this thing disappears. But who's already went on my Sunshine Show's Facebook page and looked at that? That's a debacle, man. That's really a shame. That's a travesty that we would even allow that to happen. It wouldn't happen in a man's world, but we're living in a woman's world. If that's my father, either one of them in the wheel, you know, they both have wheelchairs. Either him, the guy with, I don't know if he has spinal bifida, whatever he had. There's no way in the world he should be 8,000 miles away over here. Now, who knows? Maybe he got sick after they were married. I don't know. But the white guy with no arms and legs that's married to the African lady, he's going to catch pure hell. When she slaps him, he can't slap her back. I don't know what they're going to do. See, that's when my man starts getting sick too. I'm wondering, well, knowing this lady got an elephant pussy, I know for a fact. You can just look at her. But yeah, guys, thank y'all so much for your super chat, super stickers, all your thumbs up, all your support for Sunshine Shoulders. It's time for us to come together, man. You know, all so petty stuff, man. We need to throw it out the window. We need each other now, man. We're living in a woman's world, man. We need more men in this moment. Okay? Because we are under attack. Be careful, man, who you dealing with. Because it's a thin line between SA, grape, and consent. All you got to do is open up the internet or turn on the news, and it went from being consensual to grape, SA. That's got to stop, man. You know, when enough men get tired of it and stand up and take it to our politicians or to the courts and say we've had enough, it's going to keep happening. The same thing with men losing their life savings and everything over here in different places. Until we stand up and say enough's enough, you know, enough men have lost their life savings over here. Let's do something about it. Let's boycott this place. Let's take our money somewhere else. You know, it's going to keep happening, man. I hate to tell you. You know, P.T. Barnum was telling the truth when he said that. No matter what we do, no matter what we say, there's always going to be somebody that's going to come along and act like all these videos aren't out there. All this information isn't out there. He's going to think he hit the jackpot. Oh, look what I found over here in the Philippines. The love of my life. There's a million stories, guys. But take care, y'all. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. I'll see y'all next time. I don't even think I'm going to be able to, let's see, to end my live stream. But thank you, Q. I really appreciate it, man. And we were just having fun, man, at your expense.